Morning folks, welcome to another one of my fireside chats. And my question this week is, did wargaming, that's historical figure wargaming, drop the ball? Did we drop the ball on what's happening in the world of wargaming today? You'll be asking, of course, what on earth is he on about? What's he rambling on about now? Of course, what I'm talking about is 3D printing. It's all over YouTube on the fantasy side. So many sites, a lot you can learn. They seem to have it well organized, well set up. And meanwhile, what I see from the wargame side are very few manufacturers or individuals having a go. Give them credit, they're having a go, but often the stuff is very poor quality, stuff that you wouldn't be pleased or proud to have and think, oh, this is worth a try. And I think that's the problem. Now, when we look over onto the fantasy side, the quality seems to be improving vastly. Many of the sites I've looked at, you think, wow, that's some good stuff. I mean, they're producing large buildings, large figures, small building sets, multiple armies. One guy was off his bed, his printing bed was, I think, producing 24 figures. So this is, well organized. That's 24 figures in one print run, so he was on about cutting down the time and X, Y, Z. And I've noticed as well, this is mainly in America, of course, some of them have 2, 3, 4 printers because the prices are so, or have fallen such a lot out there. That may be another reason that we don't see them over here in UK land. Now, I recall watching a Jimmy Carr program, 8 out of 10 cats, some of you may know it, probably 10 years ago, maybe longer than that. And one of the contestants on there, Jimmy, 3D printed a bobblehead, fully painted, fully printed, all bright colours. And he got this printer out, and it was like a milk crate, one of the early day types. Now, he was telling everyone that this printer had printed this colour version of John's bobblehead, and it looked good, but obviously this was TV land lie. There was, I'm assuming, no way this printer, which looked very primitive, I couldn't even see if it was a spool type, but I think it was a spool type then, and there's no way it coloured this printed bobblehead, which I assume somebody had hand painted to make it look like it could have been printed. So of course, after watching this program, there's me thinking, right, on the road we've got it sorted. What we need as wargamers now, we need to get a 3D printer and print out 24 Roman legionaries or 48 Macedonian pikemen. I mean, it can't be that hard, can it? We just get a CAD design, or we'll get a what we were being told then, this is again 10 years ago, was you just need a figure or an item, you scan it on the 3D printer and it'll print what it's scanned, and if it's colour, it'll paint it the colour it is. This is what I was led to believe, so I'm thinking, right, this is gonna really change wargaming. And of course, the reason many of us were thinking this is because of painting, obviously, for the larger armies. I know a lot of you guys are not into larger armies now, you're more into the smaller skirmish games, which is fine. So you don't need hundreds and hundreds of figures. But us at the time, 10, 12 years ago, we're looking at this and thinking, oh, we can have 10, 24-man Roman legionaries, and they'll all be painted and done and finished, and the shield will all be printed. All we're going to have to do is base them up, and that'll be it, or anything. Or we could have a Saxon warband or some Greek hoplites. So we thought, well, obviously the businesses, the Wargames companies, they're going to get into this. They're going to realise there's a big market for their products, and if they produce their products on the 3D printers, nobody's going to, or very few people are going to set up and pirate them. They're going to just go with the flow, go with the manufacturer. But of course, what's happened is wargaming has expanded into printing, hasn't it? Sorry, printing. Injection moulding. We seem to have gone mad with the likes of Victrix and Warlord Games and Gripping Beast. Everyone is injection moulding, which is almost like a sidestep from 3D printing. Now, as far as I'm aware, to 3D print a figure, you literally just take the figure and scan it. I assume that's how it's scanned, or if you key it in a CAD design form, and you will just print it. As long as it's for your own personal use, there's no copyright infringement as far as I know. You can't print 100 figures and then sell them as for example, if they were Perry medievals, or or Victrix ancient Germans, you couldn't do this. But if it's for personal use, as far as I'm aware, that's all legal. You're you're not doing anything to infringe their rights. So coming back to my original question was, where are we with 3D printing? As a purist wargamer, we seem to be nowhere. Nobody seems particularly bothered. I've not seen anyone selling or advertising that they've got this army or that army that you could print in a CAD design or a copy design. Let's say the few vehicles I've seen, something that to me they didn't look anything special, but at least they're trying. But that seems to be it. So I'm thinking this is 10 to 12 years from when I first saw this on a TV program. We know it works because it's working on the fantasy side, and they seem to be well into it, producing, let's say, one figure or multiple figures. But wargaming, not so much. Fantasy has gone down the injection molding side. They were light years ahead of wargaming for the injection molding, and I think the plastics, I assume, are still available, are they? The old Space Marines, as it used to be, in the plastic boxes at $9.99. I think that time's long gone, isn't it? But yeah, so they had metal figures, they moved on to injection molding, and they've now moved on to 3D printing. Again, the main manufacturers, I assume Games Workshop are not involved in anything like this, but there's plenty of involvement just on YouTube from what I can see. So yeah, this will be interesting. What will happen with wargaming and 3D printing? Where will it go? Will we be producing armies? Yep, that's going to be the question. And will they be painted? That was what was interesting to us old timers way back then. Listen to me, way back then, 10 years ago, was that we could get items printed, fully painted, ready to play. That's all we were looking at. Very selfish in a sense, but that's what we wanted. So anyway, that's enough of my rambling and waffling on. Let me know if you've got any thoughts on this. It'd be interesting to see how other people feel about this. 3D printed Wargames figures in any scale. I'm not proud. It could be any scale, but let me know what you think. But anyway, thanks a lot, and bye for now.